Hello and welcome to the Body Guy Reviews, where good movies rise and bad ones burn. And yes, we are back for the road to Saw X. And yes, I know I have 9 days left to do this whole thing. So yeah. In today's Body Guy Review episode, we're talking about Saw 5. And if you remember what happened in Saw 5, you know that Eric Matthews and John Kramer and Amanda and all those guys, those people are now dead. And the new Jigsaw Killer, that's my phone case, is now to, be the new Jigsaw Killer. And yeah. So, I honestly don't know what else to talk about. But yeah, so let's dig into Saw 5 and see if Mark Coffin can be a good Jigsaw Killer. Okay, so the movie begins with on a darkest stormy night, where in a random room, there's a saw track going on, which involves a gentleman named Seth Baxter, who did something that, he served, basically Jigsaw said that he served 5 years, but it should have been a life sentence in prison. But yeah. And this trap called the Pendulum Trap, basically all he has to do is crush his fingers. But in 30 seconds, it'll start cutting his stomach, while in 60 seconds, it'll fully kill him. And the blade does swing, and he at first tries it, but gets a little too nervous. But eventually, he finally does it, but of course, and once it opens, the blade keeps swinging, and so basically, if you can't tell, this was basically inescapable. And with his final breath, Seth looked over and saw an eye, who knows whose eye is, peeking at Seth, and he quietly said, "But I done what I was supposed to do." And eventually he died, and yeah, there's a screw hole who says not on the hole, because the hole is probably broken now. But yeah. Then after the title card, basically it starts one of the few previously on Saw things, since, again, people say that this is a soap opera. Which I don't mind, despite not being into them, but the movie like these are my favorite, so yeah. Anyways, and yes, it goes back to where it left off, with Strong killing Jeff and him being locked up in the bathroom. However, he finds a door and sees a tape for him, which tells him to not that he can either push forward, or the room that he's in can be his grave. The time to choose. And obviously he leaves because, fuck John and all. Yeah, I dropped this. So yeah, he walks deeper into the hallway, which he's ended up getting picked by the pig mask. And then he ends up in yet another inescapable trap called the water cube trap, where, yes, I call it inescapable because even though it doesn't have a tape or anything, it's basically a death trap for him, because he's gonna drown in it, because the water is beside him starts filling up with water, and the cube starts filling up with water. However, Strong does the most cleverest thing you'll probably ever hear coming from me or seeing from the movie. and that is that he stabs his throat with a pen and removes some parts of the pen and uses it as a breathing hole, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Yeah, then the police came because back in Saw 4, where Sean calls in for the SWAT team out, and Strahm comes out carrying Corbett, even though she's asking where's her parents. Oh, fucking boy. I wouldn't want to be any cops or anybody telling her about... Yeah. Anyways, so Strahm tells Agent Fisk, who was kind of part of the Saw franchise, but he disappeared after this final scene because apparently Saw didn't care about him. So yeah, Strahm at first said that no one made it out alive, but the hospital workers found him and they took him to the hospital. So Hoffman is pretty pissy about it, because who wouldn't be if you're a Jigsaw killer? Then it kind of goes to another scene with Joe Tux and talking to John's lawyer, I think it was. Not Art Blank, by the way, because remember, he's dead. But apparently he had tape from John to Jill, which John talks about how he still loves Jill, despite what happened in the last movie when it ended badly. Yeah. Then John let her know that he's leaving a box for her that has great importance. And yeah. And I know you're wondering, well, what's in the box? Well, good luck finding out, because you're gonna have to wait till Saw 6 to find out. Because yes, just like the Cube and Jill herself, we gotta wait till the next movie to figure out what the fuck it is. So yeah. Then the police did a ceremony about how John Kramer is now finally dead, and they promote Mark Hoffman as lieutenant. However, just to tell you on a random foreshadowing, there is a character there named Pelma Jenkins. And she's just sticking around just because she's going to be in the next movie. So interesting foreshadowing, Saw 5. Interesting foreshadowing. However, then later on, Hoffman found an envelope for him with a little note saying, "I know who you are." Who knows what it is, but yeah, he found it right now. In the present, and all he can think of, maybe it was Pierce Strongman knows who he is. So Hoffman decided to, steal his cell phone and talk with Pierre about who is in Agent Perez's old hospital room, and apparently her body is gone. So they think she's dead, but and I ain't gonna tell you yet, but yeah. And after their talk, Hoffman leaves, and a new detective named Detective Erickson comes in and tells him that he's off the Jigsaw case. He doesn't say game over, but he said that it's over. And I know, you're probably screaming at me like, what the fuck, Dylan? It's like 10 or nearly 10 minutes and you haven't talked about the game yet. Where's the games? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here, so get ready. So hold up, y'all, because this one is called the Fail 5 game. Why is it called the Fail 5 game? Because obviously there are 5 players in this game. And they got like collars on them. And they are near a blade. And at first they thought it was Jigsaw, but then again they realized that Jigsaw is dead. So then Billy the Puppet comes on TV and tells them that I will become one with the common goal of survival, and how their instinct tells them to do one thing, but he employs them to do the opposite. I remember that, by the way. And for the games that they're doing, the first of 5, I think that is, or no, 4, is the neck collar trap, where whoever goes for the keys that are in a glass box, the 6-second timer will start for them all, and whoever doesn't get out of the collars in time, they'll get pulled back all the way back to the blades, which will leave a decapitation. However, there's also a 15-minute timer counting down for a glass bomb full of nails and such. At least I think it's full of nails or something. And yeah. And they tried talking and such. However, but one of the men in the trap, Charles, was randomly talking about how he knows most of them. Yet another dude was thinking that he probably put them in the traps. But spoiler alert, he ain't. Yeah. And eventually the stupid dude decided to do it anyway. Go for the keys anyways. And after maybe 3 or 4 minutes, or 3.5 minutes, one was left getting decapitated, named Ashley. Yeah. However, one of the 2 remaining girls that are alive breaks the glass box to grab all the keys, and the scared her dad's dude as what is he doing, and basically said that she's being smart. Which I don't blame her, because yes, if you know if you're in a saw trap, you would know to be fucking smart. Seriously, even I can try my best to survive it if I know that I was in a trap. But anyways, meanwhile, Strong decided to do his own little investigation since he's off the case, and learned about how one time Hoffman's sister was killed by your boyfriend, Seth Baxter. And yes, when I mean Seth Baxter, I mean the guy who got killed in the pendulum trap from the beginning. And yes, if you could put 2 and 2 together, that means the guy that was speaking out in the trap was made by Hoffman himself. Because yes, obviously it was for revenge. And yeah. However, he does even go as far as to try to make it look like a jigsaw trap by cutting a piece of his skin as a puzzle piece and all, because that is also John Kramer's memo on him being called a jigsaw killer. Yeah. Then the next trap they're in, which I think is kind of the most underrated trap in ever, I think, in my opinion, a bit, called the glass jar trap, which about how they need 3 keys for 3 locks to the chambers, and they don't get out of there, get into the chamber soon, then the whole room will go kablooey. However, Charles decided to be a other dude and and destroy all the glass jars. Oh, and also, yeah, they got a minute to do it if you're curious. Yeah, it honestly has some good music in for a soundtrack like that. So yeah, so the trio, Brit, Luba, I don't know, and Malik gets into the chambers while Charles gets up and was like, wait, and then it explodes because he was too late. And yeah. Then meanwhile in the flashback, back after, I think a month or so, or, no, oh my god. What I mean is that Strom was looking around in a different place, which I forgot what it was, asking, how did you meet John Kramer? Then a flashback goes on, showing that one day when Hoffman was in his office, he got the same note like he did earlier, or in the present, saying, I know who you are. Cause yeah. And then he just went, but he just kind of shrugs off and goes about his day. Yet he then ends up in an elevator with who else but John Kramer. And yes, he gets the needle and such, and yeah, then he wakes up in a chair with a shotgun right on his neck, pointing right at his neck. And oh yeah, and John was arguing with Hoffman about how everyone deserves a chance. And yes, this is another. And yes, people, this is another scene where you can see Tobin Bell being aggressive. Yeah. But yeah, hell, again, like, honestly, if Ryuk from Death Note sees him, he would think of him as interesting just as light as other humans. Then he decided to be a cocky asshole some more by pulling the trigger anyway, which does nothing because there was no shotgun in one hole. However, if he reloaded it and pulled the trigger again, it would shoot because there was another one there. There was actually one of the other one. And yeah. So, John gave Hoffman a choice, either to join him or just let him go to jail and let his killing of Seth Baxter be exposed to the world. Hoffman reluctantly agrees to join John. Ooh. Yeah. Also, yeah, we legit have a boot mug. Fucking funny, huh? Anyways, so Hoffman randomly tries to call Sean, but didn't get anything from him. Then calls up Detective Erickson and tries to make Strom a suspect of the Jigsaw killer. But Erickson realized that Strom's evidence and such in the bag are gone. But meanwhile, Strom was heading back to the razor wire trap, from Saw 1, which was shown how they set up the trap mill. Well, actually no, first, we've seen how John and Mark kidnapped Paul at first. And they set up the trap. However, Hoffman let John know that a detective is coming for him. That being Detective Tapp from Saw 1. So they use Lawrence Gordon's penlight to frame him. And then in another flashback, it shows Hoffman and John setting up the nerve gas house trap. And Hoffman talks to John about how Amanda kinda isn't being the best Jigsaw killer. Which, yes, if you put two and two together, that means Hoffman was the first Jigsaw apprentice before Amanda. And also, I'm just gonna randomly talk about this because I wanna. But John does have a interesting rule for the game. And that is all you just do is just get your suspects, set up the game, let the whole thing play out. Simple as that. And I kind of like that rule because that is basically what is true. Because if you look at Saw 2, the game was... They was watching and letting it play out and all. And yeah. So back to the freaking game. Malik, Britt, and Luba are now in another trap which has a bathtub. Billy tells them that all they have to do is connect the wires and cause a short circuit. If they can't do that, then the door will open. Well, basically close the circuits and the door will open. But if they don't do it in time, then the bombs in the room will explode. Obviously. However, at first, Luba wanted to have Malik get in the tub. Oh, and also, yeah, this time this trap has 3 minutes. However, Britt kills Luba because she doesn't trust her. And they basically reconnect her wrists, ankles, and her neck with the circuits. Which, yeah, just looking at that trap is just, just uncomfortable. Yeah. Then Joe Tux went to go talk with Agent Erickson and tells him that she feels like she's being followed by Agent Strong. Which is not happening, but no one knows why he tells him about it. But it's probably because Mark Hoffman made her there or something. I'm not sure. Yeah. Meanwhile, Strong is at the back in the hospital room or whatever it was from Saw 3 and shows a flashback that John and Hoffman talked to each other one last time before his death. And John gave the files to Hoffman for the Fatal 5-way trap. But weirdly enough, this happened mere seconds before Saw 3 and 4 games begin. Well, mainly Saw 3 game because, Hoffman was there on. Yeah. Then Hoffman used Strong's cell phone to try to call Erickson, then hangs up on him and not says a word. Then Erickson tried calling Strong's phone, but Hoffman turns it off. And then drives away to somewhere. So Erickson calls in to put the location to Strong's phone to where destination it goes. Which, obviously, he takes it to his lair. Because it's Saw. and he's trying to have a plan. Yeah, he puts them on his desk as Erickson drives away. Meanwhile, Britt and Malik are now in one final trap, which is called the Blade Box Trap, I think. Shit, I don't know what it was originally called. Ooh. But yeah, so all they had to do is to fill up a pint of blood, their blood, or they can just let the bombs in the room explode, sealing the door closed forever. However, before they learn about the trap a little more, Britt tried using the keys to unlock the door, but realized that all the keys from the necktie trap are the same. And there's 5 holes in the salt blade trap. And basically they realized that there was a secret way that they all could survive with teamwork. Because that's what Jigsaw wanted from them, is teamwork, and yet they was too stupid to not know that. Because again, if you remember the lines, your instincts tell you to do one thing, but I implore you to do the opposite. And yes, obviously, they did not! So anyways, and yeah, when they learned about the trap, Britt says that either one person can fill the beaker with 10 pints of blood and die right then and there, or if 2 people can fill it with 5 pints of blood and might live. So yeah, basically if you think about it, yes, had all 5 of them survived, they could only fill up with 1 pint of each of their blood, which would have them survive completely. But no, because like I said, they're too stupid to know. Anyway, so Malik realized that he may be in this game because he killed 8 people in a fire building. And why he did it? Simple. He wanted heroin. He killed 8 innocent people for fucking drugs. And then apparently Britt knew that there was 8 people in the fire. And set the plan in motion while hiring a drug dealer for Malik so he could tell Malik to do it. Also, yes, I'm using my phone again, obviously, because she needed a lamp for like something. And the other 3 people in that trap basically cleaned up the evidence so no one would know that it was them. And yes, basically they call each other a monster, and Malik realized that they both deserve to be there because obviously you kill 8 people for freaking drugs! And yes, they eventually both do it for this trap and they survive. But we'll get back to them in just a single minute, because first I should talk about how Hoffman ends up going somewhere to let Strong follow him. And where does he lead him to? The Nerdgas house, which is weirdly modeled as a regular house. What? Yeah, I don't get either. Like, seriously, it is cool that he actually kept the nerve gas house just as a house. And And yes, obviously they both went all the way down to the tunnel and saw the bathroom trapdoor and saw a trail of blood going across the floor. And if some of you remember Saw 7, you may know whose blood that is. I'm not telling y'all. You're gonna have to say tuned for Saw 7's by Guy Reviews. But he doesn't answer it, unfortunately, and went into a different hallway which led to a glass box which I talked about earlier in Saw 4, or when John revealed it at the end of a flashback. However, meanwhile, Detective Erickson found Hoffman's lair and found out that the saw blade trap actually led to that exact lair. Which Brick crawls out, and even though she was losing a lot of blood, Erickson asked her who did this to you, and all she could say is we won, until passing out from blood loss. So he calls in for medical help and also found Strom's phone and found Philo's a picture of him because he now thinks that Strom is the Jigsaw killer and he's coming for Erickson next. And if you want to know why, don't worry, I'll explain it a little bit. First off, we gotta finish the other half of this ending. Where Strong gets close to the glass box, sees the tape, plays it, and it's not Billy or Amanda's voice, it is Hoffman's voice. And he tells him that the only way to survive the room is to get into the glass box. However, before he can finish the tape, he hears a noise and stops it, which is the dumbest move ever. And he hides for Hoffman to go close to the glass box, which he does. And then they have scuffling, which ends up with Hoffman in the glass box. However, when the door closes on Strom, and he asks how can he open it, but Hoffman smirked like a little evil person and points to the tape, which he plays again and says that if he chose not to, he'll simply vanish. The meaning is because that the walls will close on him. And he explained that had he not pushed forward, he would have been safe. But since now he pushed forward, people are now going to say that he's the Jigsaw killer and not Hoffman. And yeah. And yeah, Sean tries to break the glass box but fails and gets out of there. But of course, the movie ends with him being crushed and the death of Peter Strong. The movie is good, but not the best. It shows that it has pure soap opera to this whole soap opera movie franchise, but it's just not the best. I like it, and the traps are great. Yeah. So anyways, thanks for watching, and here's where you can follow my social medias. But by the way, random note I should let you know about TikTok. I may not have it for long due to storage reasons, which I'm still trying to freaking fix. And yeah. So, who knows how long will I have it until I decide to just leave it. Yeah. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. See ya.